Hey guys, welcome back to the Interceptor. We're here with another Alliance War video, and today D69 is taking on LAEPS, or Latin American players, and this is actually the first war ever that I get to throw in Hercules, my new rank 4 6-star Hercules. I took him to rank 4 unduped, and then I gave him a Awakening Gem, and then I took him to 6200. Also, I rank 4 Apocalypse, but I am not using him right now. So, we have the team of Dr. Doom, Mr. Fantastic, and Hercules. And actually, I was not originally assigned this team. I was originally assigned to bring in Mole Man instead of Hercules. But it turns out there was like a massive oversight in the planning. And one of my fights was literally impossible. None of the three, not literally impossible. It was so unbelievably such a bad counter that it is statistically very unlikely that I would have survived the fight. And you'll see that later, but basically I saw the assignments and I was like, huh? Like, who do I use for this fight on my path? None of the champs on my team can do this fight, like, whatsoever. And it turns out that the planning officer just didn't know that Mole Man can't fight Red Magneto. So, there's a few reasons why. The first reason is that the shrug-off chance goes from 100% to 40% with class disadvantage. So I wouldn't be able to shrug off debuffs. The second reason is I'm constantly inflicting bleeds, which are healing him the entire fight, and they do no damage. And the third reason is that because I'm not able to shrug off debuffs, I then have to... because I'm not able to shrug off debuffs, I'll have a ton of debuffs on me the whole fight, and my abilities are going to fail because there's a node that all debuffs have reduce your ability accuracy by 15% per debuff. So that was just an instant death if I went in with Mole Man. The amount of time that fight would take, it genuinely a 4-minute fight if I'm constantly hitting him. I'd have to like enter frenzy by throwing heavy attacks. And like it would be weird. But yeah, luckily I caught the mistake and I said, okay, can I just use Herc for it? Now at this point, the officer that planned the war was already asleep. One of the other officers was checking. He's like, yeah, you would have died if you used Mole Man here like you were instructed. But this is the fight. This is the fight. This is the Red Magneto. I did take this fight earlier with Mysterio. I believe it was last season in the first war or the second war. And Mysterio is just objectively the best counter to this node. No one else is close. Not for speed, but for safety. And I'm going to take 2 hits to the... or 2 combos to the face there because, you know, why not? But no, that was just a mistake. That was not intentional. I went for 1 L2 and my second L2 was going to kill. So, you know, Herc, he takes care of that fight pretty easily. But I couldn't bring Mysterio this war because I needed Herc for other fights. Excuse me. Wow. Now we're going to go on to the next fight, which is going to be Kitty Pryde on Mixmaster. Now, Hercules is fine for this fight, but he's not crazy. Like, he's not incredible. And the reason I'm using him is because the planning officer just didn't assign this fight. In the plan that he sent us, he didn't even include this fight in the plan. It's as if this fight was not here. I think he just forgot about it. He's like, oh, that's such an easy fight. Why would they place her there? And he just forgot about it and didn't go back for it. But basically the plan here is I'm just going to be doing medium-light combos, and then right here I'm going to go into an L2. And the plan is to just stick to L2s the whole fight. If I go for my L1 on my True Sense, I could hit into her while she's phasing, but then I would take a bunch of damage, so it's not really the greatest idea. I threw one L2, and here I just threw my second one, and she's dead. So it's a 35-second fight for Hercules, which is really, really nice. But yeah, it's a pretty good fight. And then we'll go into our next fight. I don't know how I'm yawning. It's 6 p.m. I have a hockey game still tonight. I should not be yawning. And this is a Gulk on Footloose, Kinetic Transference, Force of Will. And Gulk is a unstoppable armor defender, so you really want to watch out for the armor ups. However, Mystic Dispersion with Doom. I'm running 5 out of 5 MD. So the plan here, I put one of the Petrify debuffs on from Mr. Fantastic. The idea here was that I'm just going to get to my L3, throw it, and then kind of just keep throwing L3s. And if he throws specials, whatever. I always have a stagger up pretty much. And whenever I don't, it's not that big of a deal. So yeah. There is going to be a point where I'm going to get hit in this fight. I think it's right here. No, okay. It's right here. So if you'll notice, I hit the parry on the second hit of that combo there. But because his hit was a smash into my block, which is sort of an unstoppable, although it's not called unstoppable, it makes him stun immune due to the global node. And I guess I just didn't really think about that interaction going into this fight, but we still got the fight done with 93% health with Doom, so pretty nice work. So that was it for the first set of boosts. And for the second set, wow. Second set, we were on path 5, section 2. We're on path 4, section 1. I didn't even say that. Although obviously you could tell. And I have one mini boss and then 2 path fights. I just had to wait for someone to clear the node at the end of 4, 5, 6 in section 2 so that I could reach the boss island, and then I'm going to boost up here. So I'm not using crazy boosts because, well, I won't tell you the result of the war yet, but at this point we already knew who won. And I am using class boosts with Hercules, mostly just because I want the fights to go down faster. You absolutely do not need them, but you can use them. I think it's pretty comparable to Warlock because unless you very specifically need them to shut down power, like, they're good, but they're not as good as a lot of champions like Ghost, Mole Man, Corvus, to name a few. But this Nova on path 5 Ebb and Flow Intercepts, this is a fight that I've taken many times before, including with my rank 5 5-star. I also took it with my rank 3 6-star before he was a rank 4. So basically, if I could give one piece of advice about this fight, it would be to ignore the protection and just keep comboing him. Do not bait specials. Just don't. It's not worth it. So there I threw my L1 one hit early because if I'd done another hit, it would have pushed me to an L2 due to his Fury buff getting nullified. But yeah, basically the strategy in this fight is to keep up your Furies, never intercept. You can intercept if the charges are low and like you have a good time where he won't auto block you, but it's not really worth it. Mostly because if you're waiting for him to not be able to auto block you, you're most likely gonna lose your Fury waiting. So most likely. But yeah, we're just gonna cycle here into L3s, and then we go for a third L3 and he's dead. So it's I think that was just over a minute and we didn't even remove the protection. Doom just does not need he doesn't need to remove the protection to be a great counter for that fight. And that Nova never gets a kill, but it's kind of just to force out a Doom, because I've never seen someone take that with anyone other than Doom. I'm sure a lot of champions could do it, though, like Claire, Sorcerer, Tiger. I'm sure they're all fine for it. But obviously Doom is the best, and it isn't close. So this Mysterio originally, in the plan that we were given, I was to take this with Doom, and that would have been completely fine. So here I'm gonna throw a heavy attack late, and that's gonna just have to cause, or that's going to cause me to have to do this reparry again. And at this point, I went just for the L2 because I was like, oh yeah, he's pretty much dead. So there we go. 25-second fight with Hercules. I only needed 2 intercepts, and I don't think he ever threw a special attack. Although maybe he threw an SP2 and I didn't notice. I don't know. Either way, he's dead. So there we go. That's the end of my Hercules fights. Hercules did great in his first ever war, taking 4 fights. And now we're up to our last fight, which is Doom fight against Annihilus on Conflictor and Combat Deja Vu Prowess Puncture. And this is a pretty straightforward fight. Basically, I just want to nullify the rod. I'm again running 5 out of 5 MD, and the Prowess the Combat Deja Vu Prowess is giving us a bunch of power, as well as the one from the Global. And then here we're gonna get a lot of power back from those Furies, so I'm gonna throw my L3. He got to his L3, but really I just kind of want to ignore his power in this fight and just get it done. I want to just get L3s out, throw L1s, and yeah, this guy's pretty much dead. And Annihilus is not the greatest defender. I mean, for some reason, he's like known to be a great defender. I don't really see it. I think there's just... I don't even think you need such an amazing counter to his abilities. The fact that the L1 is punishable means you more than likely only need to get 2 or 3 intercepts or ricochets for openings the entire fight. And assuming you do that, you don't even need to worry about his unstoppable. But of course, Dr. Doom nullifies and doesn't have to worry about any of that stuff anyways. So I did add 2 Mr. Fantastic debuffs onto this Mangog, which Court came in and took with Magic. But that was the end of my war, so we will just wait for me to type out that that he can fight now. And then I will show you the results. So we did end up winning this war with a score of 15-5. So great war by us. Good job to D69. That's, I think, our second best at this point. Although I think we have one war that was better than this at the end of the season in the last 2 wars. So we are now 8-2 on the season. My death total is at 1. My PSR is at 57 out of 58, or 98%. And my Deathless streak is up to 43. So that is going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.